Everyone wants to love and to be loved, with the hope of finding that right person who will complement us. For Romario Lovell, popularly known as Thin Slice, falling in love with Samuel Bristol appeared to be an act of faith.
Well, I met Samuel Bristol through a friend by the name of Pires Reed. I had wanted to be with someone because at that time I found out that I was lonely, and he gave me his number and we contacted and we started going around dating.
From all indications, according to Thin Slice, her newfound lover treated her so lovingly that he swept her off her feet.
He was a very nice person when it comes to loving. He was very caring and stuff like that. So he used to go anywhere with me, he never used to be afraid to walk with me. What I like most about it is that he used to care about me. He never wanted to see I go down a bad road. He was very loving towards my family.
It was about 3 years into the relationship when the love they once shared would start to fade away and a new side of Bristol would emerge.
Because he never really want me going out like to any parties by myself or to go meet friends. He just used to want me in, and that's not me. I don't feel comfortable being around my family because I love going out and meet friends. He used to knock me a lot because he used to hear so many things about me, which most of them are not true. If I go somewhere or go to a party and someone call me and say, your lover's here, and he hear back and he know that I'm home, I'm supposed to be home, he would come till by my workplace or something and embarrass me. So I didn't like that.
For Thin Slice, her mind was singing a different tune from her heart because her love for Bristol was stronger than she expected.
The reason why I stayed is because every time me and him separated, he used to be the one calling back and begging for him to be back together. He used to be saying that he can't do without me no matter what, he loved me. And that there's something about me he can't give away or die away of. Yes, he did explain why he hated me because Samuel said that I used to be the one giving him the reasons and the causes to hate at me.
As the rocky relationship continued, Bristol became even more violent towards Thin Slice.
I once had an incident with him whereby I used to work at Survival and I went out with 3 friends. After that I didn't went home. I went and I slept out at a house with them. My best friend, his ex was there and he was all up in my face. I didn't want anything to do with him because I know that's my best friend's ex and I would never do that. So my best friend went downstairs and called Samuel and tell him that I'm upstairs doing dirty things with his ex. So the next day I leave and I went to work. It was a Sunday. My lover Samuel came and started knocking at me and I ran over into the internet and locked up in the toilet. He kicked down the door, Samuel kicked down the door and started to cuff me, kick me up, lash me into the toilet bowl, break up the toilet seat and everything, drag me down the road. My eye was black and blue. He carried me at the garden, stripped me naked and tell me go home, walk down the road and all those things. He took me to the gardens and stripped me and I started to beg and cry to him and I told him it's not true. I didn't do anything with my best friend's ex. And he called and my best friend lied. He put the phone on speaker and my best friend lied right in front of my face that yes, I did it. But I went upstairs and I was doing things and I keep saying no and I was crying and begging and begging and begging and then he said he don't want anything to do with me anymore. So after that, Samuel gave me back my clothes and he slapped me and I put on my clothes, and after that I leave and went to Bashar Nagar police station where I make my report. But the officer in charge told me that I have to go to Alberton police station because that's where the incident happened on Duncan Street, and that's more close, so I have to go there. So she gave me a medical and I went and got the medical done, but nothing came out of the story.
Thin Slice recounted even though nothing came out of the matter, she appreciated the way the police officers treated her with respect at both police stations while making the report. Thin Slice would lose her job. She then turned to sex work as a means to survive while being in and out of the abusive relationship with Bristol.
Every time Samuel and I separated, I used to go into sex work. And after many times he used to hear me doing sex work, that's when Samuel would then call my phone or my mom's phone for us to be back together in the relationship, because he never wanted or liked me to do sex work. He always see me as an intelligent person, and he know that I have potentials and I can work.
On Sunday the 20th of July, back in 2014, Bristol decided to take matters into his own hands as to get Thin Slice off the streets, even if it meant killing her.
The reason why I would say he went on a rampage and came out that night looking for me to kill me, it's because we had committed ourselves not to cheat on each other after we got back together. I used to observe him a lot. Samuel looked like the same person he was, or he always used to be before. Yes, I won't lie, he was very loving and caring. But when it comes to the knocking, Samuel didn't change a bit.
A sign of something going wrong was getting clearer for Thin Slice as Bristol was starting to get agitated about her doing sex work, something he never accepted.
He passed and see me, but I didn't saw him. I didn't saw Samuel. So I went home the Thursday night, and he came out back. Samuel came out back. Samuel came out back the Friday and texted me and told me, okay, so that's what you're going back and doing. I just passed in the car and I saw you. I said, and so what? What that have to do with you? So he texted me, tell me he want back his watch, he want back everything, give to me and stuff like that, and he wants to see me. And he was talking to me too nice, and that's not him. So he told me he wanted to see me the Friday. I said, I'm not coming anywhere to see you. He just said, no, it's nothing to worry about, you just want back your watch. I said, okay, I'm going to come and bring it. He then sent a message to my best friend and my sister overseas, telling them that he's going to kill me. But they didn't want to call me, they didn't want to tell me it over the phone. They had wanted to meet me and tell me. But my sister, she didn't want to tell me it over the phone either. She texted me and tell me, why don't tell him I don't want him anymore. I said I already told him I don't want anything to do with him anymore. And she said, okay, well, if you told him that, well then don't go back and see him or anything.
On that unforgettable morn, before taking the lives of two persons, earlier Bristol had attempted to douse another transgender woman he knew with gasoline and set her ablaze in the vicinity of the cathedral. After getting wind of Bristol's actions, Thin Slice accompanied the victim to the Brickdown police station to make a report, And it was then that they got the news that Bristol had killed 2 others.
5 minutes after, a man ran in and said that 2 girls just got killed on wrong by Lepo. He was like, 2 girls. I said, no, not 2 girls, 2 auntie men. He said a tall red-skinned one and another one, but he can't really identify the other one. But he know one because her name is Jada. I started to shake and cry. I didn't know what to do, where to go from there. We all left and we went down. We saw Tyra and Jada lying dead.
The double murder shocked Thin Slice. It would then take months for the now 22-year-old to move on with life after losing 2 close friends and an ex-lover who hours later committed suicide.
At first I used to blame myself, but after I look back into it, Samuel did what he always wanted to do. And after he didn't get to kill me, he then realized that he could have gotten people or the ones closer to me to hurt them. Whether you're gay, you're bisexual, you're straight, you're trans. Never let someone take advantage of you, despite of what reason or what may be the cause. Always tell yourself that you're bigger and better. Send out a positive message to yourself. After I found out that he committed suicide, I then feel relief and know to myself that I could have gotten my freedom, because if he was still alive, I would have been so trapped, knowing that he could have come hunting and looking for me.
Today, Thin Slice has found a new way to embrace what can be considered a horrific period of her life and found the strength and courage to move on.
Well, it's almost a year that my friends have been murdered. I'm coping with it. After that, I've been coping with it. Sit down in my corner, saying to myself, this is me, and this is what I love doing, going out and looking for jobs. And I can't be here doing nothing, and just because of an incident, I should be all locked up, hiding away from people. Because what message am I going to send out to the trans community or the LGBTI community?
For Thin Slice, life could be better, but she now has a job where she can comfortably be herself in a safe space while contributing to the community.